Okay, we're back at her again on the Jimmy. So I got the motor ready to come off here. I gotta swap out this flex plate. Yeah, I got a new engine hoist. Do you guys remember the one I used to take it out, that little blue one? It worked, but it was like fully extended at all times. So I thought I'd get myself a bigger one. Now this one is, I think it's an OTC, and it's a 2-ton, which is great. But geez, it's got legs on it like a calendar girl from the 50s, man. Those things are long. And I think I'm gonna have to leave my garage door open to get this thing in here. From there to there. Whatever, we'll figure it out. But when you work alone, it's kind of important to have a hoist that'll hold it. That last one was pretty tippy, and I'm out here by myself. It's, I don't know, it's a little hinky. At any rate, I am going to get started. I'll get you guys set up on a tripod, and we'll try and slam this thing in there. Let's get that out of the way. Whatever, it'll sort itself out, right? Okay, let me get you guys set up on a tripod or something, and we'll get these 6 off of here. Typically, doesn't appear to have been any Loctite on here. I sure like Loctite on these things. I don't know about all flywheels, but on small block Chevys, you can put these on backwards, and that would suck. As a rule, there's this lip on here. I don't know if you can see that. It's this lip right here. That lip faces this way. This one is stamped made in Mexico. I don't see where it says engine side or flywheel side. But on my new one, it's not stamped either. But like I say, you'll want this lip facing us. I don't know if it's possible. Well, I know it's possible to put on the other way. That a friend of mine actually put one on the wrong way. Quiet, you. Boy, that's a tight fit. What's that all about? Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but that line's up there, no problem. That line's up there, no problem. That one lines up for the most part. It's a little bit off. And now we're starting to really get off track here. That won't go in, that won't go in. And you can see that no way that's going in. Part number lines up, application chart lines up. I think this thing was manufactured wrong or just labeled wrong, one of the two. Okay, plot twist. There's the old one. There's a new one. Garbage. There's another one I found under my bench. Looked like it kind of sat exposed on the bottom there for quite some time. Here's another one I found on my bench. Let's say it was under a lake. It fits good. It just slapped right on there, bolted on, no problem. The teeth seem to be, in relative to the new one. So I believe it's to be a good one. Boy, I sure hate to be wrong at this point. We pulled this whole thing apart because of the ring gear, and I'm slapping a used one on. I know, don't. Okay, just not now. So yeah, we're doing it. Throwing it in. Save it. I don't want to hear it. I'll get ready for the I told you so's afterwards, okay? I'll get you guys your stupid tripod and I'll try and get this thing in here. Oh, and I tossed a distributor in. Just kind of tossed it on there. Why? Because I'm fat and I don't really want to get up over the Jimmy and throw it in there. So it's in there now. So yeah, well, see if we can get this thing going. Okay, here we go. So that side is good, this side is short. So I'm going to try and just drop her down a little bit and see if I can sneak her in there. So what I want to do here is just want to tilt the engine back a little bit so I can get those bolts bolted up. I'm kind of happy with where it's sitting. I just wish I had a little more angle. And there we go, we're seated. Let me grab a flashlight and I'll show you. Okay, let's try and take a look here. With the flashlight in there, if I can show you between the motor and the transmission. Don't really have a great angle here. Maybe we'll move over to the other side. That brake master cylinder just kind of gets in the way. Yeah, that's a little better. So if you can see there where the blue of the engine meets the dirty black aluminum dirt greasy oil of the transmission, they're up tight to one another. This will be an easy install. Dowel pins are in place. Boy, that went real smooth for a one-man operation. I'm not so sure I could have done that any smoother if I had fresh puppy poop on my fingers. At any rate, that's the easy part is done. Maybe we'll get ready to start throwing some bolts in and seeing where we end up. All right, let's go. Alright, I'm hoping you guys can see here. So I ended up just using a flex plate I found under my bench. Hopefully it lines up. I'm sure it will. What was that? Alright, so these particular bolts are 9/16 on one side and 11/16 on the other. Kind of oddball. But that's what we got. A little refresher for where we're at. So I put the fuel pump back in. So see this bolt right here? Let me see if I can get you down there. Look at that chrome bolt there. Kind of silver, clean bolt, I guess is probably the best way to put it. So if you take that bolt out, it's a shorty, and replace it with a longer bolt, it'll hold the rod that runs between the fuel pump and the camshaft for you. That way you can get your fuel pump in and out without that rod always sliding to the bottom and getting in the way. So anyway, I pulled out the longer bolt that I had holding in there after I put my fuel pump in and put in the short bolt. The fuel pump is held in with two 7/16. Actually 2 3/8 bolts there, and then down here we have our fuel line. We hooked that back up. Pretty straightforward. Back here for the starter, there's really just 3 wires. So we have the big one going to the starter, and then if you follow that guy there, and if you install it properly, hook it up to that bolt, it actually rests on the back of the solenoid bolt there. Let me get you down there. Take a look. You see that? And it helps to keep your wires off the exhaust and fluttering in the wind and whatnot. And in there you have two wires. One goes to the big post and one goes to the post next to it. This is alternator wiring. We'll get to that in a little bit. So there's what's going on there. On your motor mounts, we have a bolt, a nut and bolt that runs through here. One side is 5/8, the other side is 11/16. So the nut side is 11/16, the bolt side is 5/8. And just tighten those up. Those are easy peasy. You know, once you get them through there. Same thing on this side. I think that's about it. I ended up getting all of my engine to transmission bolts. There's 7 of them in total. I ended up getting every single one of them from under the hood. If you got a square body, this is where you want to get those bolts from. I don't know if I've ever installed all the bolts from a motor to transmission from under the hood of any vehicle. But I certainly did it today, every one of them. And I wrenched them on and it went really quick. I'm not going to lie, it was like easier than I deserve. This morning, this motor went in, just stabbed her in one shot. I'd put the pry bar in on the driver's side to move that motor mount in place, and that was it. I hooked up here, slid it back, and it just fell right into place. And I'm telling you, like, honestly, I didn't deserve that. It was way better. Pretty good. So this guy, remember that guy? You guys are supposed to remind me to put that on there. Sits on the oil pan, holds these 2 lines. Well, funny thing, those lines and that bolt don't really play together well. So it was originally right there in front of the starter underneath that big bolt. Obviously that's not going to work. So I slid it along there to the next spot, and the next spot, the lines are too high. And I don't know. I'm going to see how she lays in there. And if she lays in lower than what I think, well, then I'll go back and change it. But for right now, I'm going to leave it out. Just because I don't think it's gonna work for us. I think the bends in this might be different than the mangled mess we had. This starter cable, too short. Isn't that something? Isn't that, you know, if you could just live with your battery on a bit of a lean, or whatever, it does the trick for us to start it. That's all I really care about. And it does roll over. I haven't tried to start it, obviously. The distributor's still, you know, a mess there, but she does turn over. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going at it here. I don't want to bore you guys too much. I did forget to hook up. There's a bracket back there for the kickdown cable for the transmission. So I'm gonna have to go back and install that. It's actually on the ground here. Put some paint on it, you know. Not perfect. I missed it. Yeah, we'll get it. Not a big deal. And then we also got, see that over there? That comes from the transmission to the modulator valve. So we got to get that hooked up to that little unicorn hanging up the middle. But I kind of wanted to get my valve covers on before I do a lot of this stuff, though. Anything that drapes over it, same as my plug wires, so on and so forth. Well, plug wires, I may as well wait till the manifolds are on. And I got some auto wrecker manifolds, and I broke all the bolts, so I got to deal with that before I can do anything. So yeah, it's coming along, and we got to get this alternator wired up. We got some work ahead of us. At any rate, that's where we're at. I'm gonna get back at her. Oh yeah, heater hoses. We got a little bit of work yet. We'll get her done, and I'll be right back. Okay. Well, I was really hoping to get this wrapped up before I left. I don't know. Maybe I can make it back out here tomorrow. I don't actually leave till tomorrow. I got a pretty busy day ahead of me tomorrow too. And I don't have my exhaust manifolds yet. A good friend of mine, Matt, is actually going to drill out the studs. That's pretty cool because I hate that stuff. These valve covers still got to get bolted on there. You know, the radiator is not in yet. Rad hoses. We got to throw the power steering in. Set up these belts. Pretty much that's going to do it, other than the distributor cap and wires and plugs and that kind of stuff. But I kind of want the exhaust manifolds on, right? You know, like, why would you put plugs in and then break them with the exhaust manifolds? Why would you put your wires on and then put your exhaust manifolds on? Doesn't make any sense. So, as much as it sounds like I'm making a bunch of excuses, I am simply making a bunch of excuses. So, I also got to get a longer cable from the starter to the battery. Little things, you know how it is, the last 10%, right? But we did get it out. We did get, you know, the top end redone. Pretty excited about it. And she's all back together. There's zero reason this thing won't run. It will run. I know it'll run. You know it'll run. Don't give me that. At any rate, she's in. We're done for today. We're likely done for the shift. And I'll be back in 2 weeks this time, because I'm going up north for a longer stint, and then we'll take this show on the road. So that's going to do it for this one. Motor is in. Motor will run. It's a little stuff, a little bit of wiring here and there, blah blah blah. Maybe if I had 3 more hours and the exhaust manifolds, we'd have this done. At any rate, I better get this garage cleaned up. It's looking kind of haggard. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one. And coming up next, I think, I don't know, you guys want to do the brakes next? They kind of suck on these things because they got new rotors to go on too. So that means we're going to take all that good stuff apart, and I don't know. I've never done it before. We'll service the 4x4 stuff. We'll get those rotors off, change out the studs, put it back on, change out the calipers, the brake hoses. I think the Master is going to be okay, although I don't know. And then I do have inner fenders to put it in, but I was thinking I might just leave them until after we get all this stuff done, because it'd be good for video, right? Ball joints, tie rods, brakes, all that good stuff. I could set you guys up here and you wouldn't be in my way all the time, which would be nice for once. Anyway, those inner fenders will likely be one of the last things we do. I want to try and close up that gap and close up that gap. How do you close up the gap on both sides? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm just kind of whatever. Yeah, that'll do it for this one. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. See you soon.